Good evening and welcome to another episode of Que-stead-Que. What you gonna do? I don't know, but something's gonna grow. Well, hello everyone. As promised, I'm back. I said I would come back Thursday, but I decided to come back today. I'm here in the kitchen real quick to show you that on today, I can resume my compost collection. So I got a bag out and here it is. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. I'm looking around. Okay, it's in frame now. But anyway, I started out with some potato peels. And since I'm in here, I finished up that vanilla last night, like I said. So I actually I didn't add any to the good stuff, which is the Kirk and Sweeney. I added two beans to the rum vanilla, and I think that's enough to help along the new pint of Bacardi that I put in it. I added 4 beans to this, so I doubled it. So I guess it's a double fold. This is the vodka vanilla made with the Grey Goose. And then I added a couple of more beans to the regular vodka. So I didn't quite use 10. I used, I think, 6 altogether. And here are the vanilla beans. So I'll put these away and they'll be used later for top-offs. So as I top off later, I'll cut some more up and add it whenever something starts to empty. And then I took my other half pint of rum vanilla. Oh, I did add a vanilla bean to that. Hold on. It's right up here in the cabinet. Right up there. So I added a half a vanilla bean to that. Or was it a whole? It might have been a whole. Okay, so anyway, here's the compost. So once it heats up again next week, let me tell y'all, we got our face cracked. Let me turn this camera back around. We got our face cracked today. Yesterday, we hit 71 degrees. Today, it was, I think our high got to 30, or they said it was going to be 30, but I doubt it. Okay, we're going to the seed room. I finished that up last night, and it was late when I did it. So I lost, I wanted to open this, but I'm kind of wanting to save this watering system for the regular, my other seeds that I'll be starting in April. So what I did was I lost the top to this one. In fact, it probably got destroyed. It's probably outside somewhere when the greenhouse fell. So I just took some regular plastic just to start off the seeds. And I did end up using some of the sand because I looked at the Grand Rapids lettuce that I did the experiment with, and I need to clean this table. It is a hot mess. I'll get that cleaned up tonight. But anyway, and those seeds will be put into my seed storage, which is right here. And I've got to put everything back in alphabetical order too. So, but anyway, I'll get that clean, get the table vacuumed off. I didn't spill anything on the floor from the bucket. And, but anyway, the Grand Rapids seeds survived. So with that sand, so I said, okay, if they're probably just leggy because I really haven't been caring for them. So I ended up putting a little sand in this lettuce here, the mesclun and the ruby red. And then I went on and sprinkled a little sand on top of the seeds that I started on last night. So if they come up, then I'll know that the sand is fine. If they don't, then I know what to do. Hurry up and replant or do something. Okay, so I'm pulling this back a little bit because I put the little popsicle sticks in. I've got my order. What I did was I made 2 of each variety or each seed popsicle stick, so I'll know where it begins and where it ends. Some things only have one cell: the Swiss chard, collards and cabbage, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and I don't know what this is on the end. Okay, broccoli. So those seeds, and I don't want none of these popsicle sticks falling out. And then those that I did more than one sale, I did 2 sticks. So the Jimmy Nardello starts here, ends there. So I know my little method here, as long as I don't start losing sticks. The peanut got the whole row because I planted 6 peanuts because I wanted to make sure that I get at least a couple of them for my sister and probably one for myself. So this is how I did it. So, and I found out today, although my tomato package said to start tomatoes 6 to 8 weeks before the last frost, and we're right at about 8 weeks before our last frost. But then M.I. Gartner did a video today and said, don't do it. He said, unless you have a bigger pot to put the tomatoes in because they're going to grow. Well, I do. You know, I use these cups. I have a lot of them there that were already used and they still have dirt. And then I also have some new ones down there. I'll probably just throw the old ones away because those cups are so cheap and just use the new ones. But I always label my cups. And when my seedlings get big, I take them out and I repot them into the cups with potting soil. And then they continue to grow. And they will usually grow well in the cups until it's time to transplant. And what I do is I punch 2 holes at the bottom of the cup, and then I put the cup where the plants are, and then I put a little water at the bottom of the second cup, and then it's self-watering. So really, all my work right now will be with the seedlings to get them to grow and get ready for the cups. But once they're in the cups, I check on them every day. I keep them under the grow light, and that's it. I don't have to do anything else because it's self-watering. I love that because the first year I didn't do that. And then when I saw that idea, I was like, I'm going to try that. And it made my seed starting and seed care really easy. Okay, so right now I have my heating pad on, and it's nice and warm. It's not too hot. Wait a minute, did it cut off? Oh, I forgot, I got the wrong. Oh, no, it didn't cut off. Why does it not feel warm? Oh, it's warm, it's warm. Okay, I had to stick my hand to the middle. Now, my cold crops didn't need the heating pad, so I started the heating pad down here at the peppers all the way down to the tomatoes because the cold crops will come up on their own. They don't need the heat. So that's how I did that. But yeah, I don't use the heat mats, although that would be nice because they're longer. I might eventually buy a heat mat if I ever see one on clearance or on sale, but right now, I'm not spending that type of money. I'll check eBay, though, and Amazon because lots of times you can find things a lot cheaper on both sites, so I'll see. And if I see a heating pad, $20, I mean, not a heating pad, a heating mat, $20 or less, I'm not willing to spend more for a heating mat when my heating pads work well. But it would be nice to have a heating pad because they are longer, especially when I start my other seeds. So stay tuned for that. Then I have my book. I filled out my this is my gardening journal, and it goes back like 4 years. When I first moved into, no, longer than that, 2017. It goes back to 2017, so count that up. But anyway, I got everything written down, what I planted, you know, the date and everything. And I wrote down what I did in the yard and all that stuff. I like that book because later on it's going to come in real handy. It's coming in handy now. Okay, so let's go back to the living room, and I'm going to stand this up. And then we can chat a little bit. I went to the store on yesterday because y'all know, fruit, everything at the store is just too high. So I said, okay, I don't mind paying that $2.3 million towards my grapevine this year because I want to get grapes. So someone told me that I can't go wrong if I get 10-10-10 fertilizer. These grapes I bought, it was just a little teeny tiny pack yesterday, almost $5. But you have to, and excuse me, I'm setting up this tripod. Let me get it on me and cover myself up since it's cold again. Yesterday we went from, and I'm so glad I kept I have on the same sweatshirt that I had on yesterday. I'm glad I wore that yesterday. I was like, I'm not going out there in shorts and with no coat and all that stuff because I knew that anything could happen. This is Michigan. And it happened overnight. First of all, it stormed something terrible. There was a tornado somewhere close, about maybe 15 miles from me. And so, but it stormed something terrible most of the night last night. It thundered, lightning, the wind. And it was real windy today and very, very, very cold. Oh, garbage bag. Let me get that off to the side. Okay, but anyway, back to the grapes. Yeah, $5. And so I said, well, and you have to have fruit. You know, you have to have something balanced. You know, you want at least one fruit a week, bread, you know, that type of thing. And that's just too much. So I can get that fertilizer. And if I can get grapes this year, that will be my success for the garden this year for sure. If I can get that grapevine to produce again. It produced for me the first year. And after that, it hasn't produced. And someone told me 10-10-10 fertilizer will do it. So hopefully that will work. And I need to get that. I'm going to get that next week. I'm splurging into Eclipse money again for that. But I want to get those grapes fertilized immediately because I actually probably should have been doing that at the end of last season. But I can do it now before it takes off and wakes up. It's still dormant, so it didn't wake up on yesterday. It probably started, but it just didn't. Yep. Then yesterday I was telling y'all about the Que-stead-Que bag, so I wanted to show y'all one. Here's one that I made for myself, a watermelon bag. I had this yarn called, and the color of it was called watermelon, and then I found some white and green. So I made myself a watermelon bag about a month ago, and I've been using it. Right now it's stuffed. I stuffed it so that you can see how they stretch. I make them out of cotton, and then they stretch. And so I stuffed it with a couple of shawls that I have. So this is the watermelon bag. It's out of, I don't have it shaped right, but if I shaped it right, it would be really cute. And then I'm working on the one for my cousin. I started that one actually late last night while watching YTF, I Got Married or something like that, episodes 1 through 50. So I'm halfway through that nonsense. I have a feeling I'm wasting my life, but it's enthralling for those of you who have watched it. So I started on my cousin's, while it was storming, I started on my cousin's Que-stead-Que bag. So hers will be done probably once I get this part made. It'll go fast. I'll have this done by the end of this weekend. Yep, because, wait, no, by the end of this week, actually, because today is Wednesday. This will be done probably by Friday. And then I'll get it in the mail to her, and she can start using her bag. Then I'll start back on, I'm making a garden shawl. What I did, I had a lot of garden shawls. I had like 7 of them. And last year I had a birthday party, and I decided to raffle them off to my cousins who came and friends. And so I raffled all those off, and I have this one left that I made last year. And so this was a garden shawl that I made. This one's triangular, so I wanted to make another rectangular one. So this will be for the summer. And what it does, believe it or not, even with the holes in it, when the mosquitoes get bad out there, I can wrap this shawl around me in the summertime. I can sit outside or work in the garden and wrap the shawl around me, and the mosquitoes won't bother me. I'm thinking because they don't like that material if they land on it, so they just go away. So I love, and I call them trashy shawls because I use scrap yarn to make them. And that's what I'm doing with this. This is scrap yarn here, so I'll be running this until it's big enough, and then that'll be it for that. And then I have some scrubby yarn here. I love this stuff right here. So I'm gonna make some scrubbies for my sister and I. Yep, and that's it. So that's what I'll be doing with the crochet projects until summer's going, you know, then the crocheting will slow down. But right now, you know, I can still work on my crocheting. But anyway, before I get off, let me taste one of these grapes. At least it's sweet, since I paid all that money for them. That's the least they could do, is give me some sweet ones. So they are sweet. Okay, pretty good. And of course it would be good because I didn't get too many. That little teeny tiny pack. I wait. I'm counting grapes. Okay, let's see. I have 3, 6, 7. I counted out 10. 3. No, I counted out 8 grapes. I just ate one. So I said, well, that'll give me fruit for the day. And then I'll count out 8 more for a snack tonight, and that'll be it. Okay, but what I said I was going to talk about is my garden club. If you go back to episode 5 of this channel, I actually did an on location to our greenhouses. Actually, we started out as the group, or the club is called Growing Pontiac. And what they offer, I joined it back when I was caring for my mother. And so the lady who runs it, her husband, I did a donation, and her husband, I explained to her how I was caring for my mother and couldn't really garden the way I wanted to. And I told her if I had some garden tables, I would be able to do it. And so her husband ended up building me those 3 garden tables that you see out back. Her husband built those, brought them to me, and I was able to garden while I was caring for my mother. And I didn't start gardening until after I bought my first home in 2017. This home here is my second home that I bought. I sold that one and I bought this one because it was more conducive for me. But at the time when I was caring for my mother, the first home, first of all, time was of the essence. I had to hurry up and find something while I was approved. And so I found that home, and it was conducive for my mother, my late mother rather. So anyway, he did that, and I was able to garden. Not big, not much, but I was able to garden in those 3 tables. And then also there were 3 small garden boxes back there that the old owners had left behind. So I was able to plant a few things in those garden boxes. So that was a blessing. So I joined the club, and I've been with it ever since. It's called Growing Pontiac. So we were the only ones in this city, and we were very small, but it caught on. It seemed to have caught on really big last year. So they had to make a few changes this year. Now there's a deadline for joining. You can get a scholarship, which I received last year and this year, but the cost is very cheap. But with me being broke, I just applied for the scholarship, but then I volunteer also. But anyway, although that doesn't mean anything, and I will make another donation later, because I made a nice, donation before, and then I've paid before too. But anyway, Growing Pontiac, we were the only ones, so we had this community garden, and I couldn't volunteer back when my mom was living, but I knew of the community garden. They provide free compost, free topsoil, and it's another dirt. It's 3. Wait, topsoil, compost, and what's the other thing you used for your amendments? It's a soil. I want peat moss. I think it's peat moss. But anyway, they provide that. They bring in a big, huge mound, and you can take your buckets or whatever you're going to load that in, and I'll make 1,000,000 trips and get all the dirt that I need. And last year I didn't get any, but this year I'm going to need to get some, and boy, it's going to be rough because I know I'm going to make 1,000,000 trips. But anyway, so then a couple of years later, St. Joe, it used to be called St. Joe Mercy Hospital, but now it's called not St. Joe, it's called Trinity Health. And so they started a farm there at the hospital. So people who worked at the hospital, staff members and stuff, they could go out and plant and whatnot. And so they started this at the hospital, and then they opened up a little farm store right there at our hospital, our local hospital. So they're still around. And then we ended up with a group on site where you'll see, if you watch episode 5, it's called Micah 6. So we all kind of merged. We still have our own separate entity, but we merged. We used the greenhouses for winter meetings, and what our thing provides, and we welcome the Permaculture Club. We welcome Micah 6, and we also welcome I must just say for the sake of it, St. Joe, because that's what I know it as. But we welcome St. Joe Farm people also, and they welcome us. So our entity offers, we have free classes, and this is one man. He's a horticulturist. His name is what is his name? Gerard, not Gerard. Jared. His name is Jared. He is excellent. He's an excellent teacher. So we have free classes. Every year we get donations from different farmers of free seeds, donations from the Burpee Company, from all the different seed companies. And I mean, they give thousands and thousands. And so we go in and we can get seeds. We're limited. They make up the bags, and then we go get the bags. And then they have seeds off to the side, things you may be interested in. And you pick up whatever seeds you want free. That's why, and then I'm still ordering seeds when I really don't need to. But I like to order seeds because of me having my own greenhouse. I can order seeds from the South, that things that can't be grown here. I mean, that you wouldn't find those seeds here, but because it's grown in the South. So those are the type of seeds that I like to buy. For instance, I grew cotton 2 years ago and was successful. I'll show you my cotton. In fact, let me show it to you now. Since I'm carrying this tripod. Okay, I'm gonna turn the camera around. Here's the cotton. And what I grew it for, because everybody looks at me like I'm from another planet whenever I mentioned that when I was growing the cotton, said I'm growing cotton and I think it's gonna produce for me. And what you growing cotton for? You know, people are so shallow minded. I use cotton for crocheting. This is what I make my Que-stead-Que bags out of, cotton. You can spin cotton, and you can use cotton for anything. That's the reason why cotton is so in demand and has been all these years. It's just not slavery stuff. So no, I'll never be ashamed for growing cotton. In fact, I'm gonna look through my seeds. I think I still have some cotton seeds. I might grow some this year and that cotton will last forever because it's a textile. I grew loofah last year. I meant to say that. And I have some loofah seeds. I might do that again this year. Loofah, that can be used for many things, but it's a textile, and loofah is edible, but I don't think I would eat it. But, it's a textile. So, people are shallow minded, especially those who don't grow and don't have an interest in it. So they hear one thing that might sound unusual to them. It's just like any other discrimination, things that you don't know nothing about. Suddenly you come up with your own, thoughts on it and think that everybody's supposed to just go along with it. And then they don't want to hear you when you try to explain. So I just went on and did my thing. And my cotton, the season wore out. It got cold here. The cotton it made bowls, but the bowls never opened. And I was like, well, this is the end of the road. And something said, it had to have been the voice of God, said, bring the cotton in and put the cotton under the grow light. And so I cut the cotton from, I pulled it up from the thing. I cut the stalks. I left the roots, of course, but I harvested the stalks from the dirt, and I shook it real good. Brought it, put the roots in the water in a big jar of every one, and I put it under the grow light. And that was in September, after Labor Day of that year, 2 years ago. On Thanksgiving Day, one bowl opened. And by Christmas Day, all of the bowls had opened, and I had cotton. So I was so happy. And I'm still happy. And so I keep it in water still. I still have the roots on it. The cotton, I guess, it'll never go bad, but the roots are still alive. I probably could put them back in the ground or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, it was experimental and it worked. And I'm proud of my cotton. And so I may grow some more this year because I have quite a few seeds in there under my textile category. And what I can do is grow some more this year. And the reason why I kept that and didn't do anything with it is because I only planted like 8 seeds, and every one of them boled and gave me cotton and everything, but I should have planted more. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant some more, and then I might plant maybe 20 seeds. And if I can get 20 more bowls, I can spin that cotton and make me some cotton yarn after I spin it and use it and crochet me some dishcloths. And I could say from seed to dishcloth, I did it myself. So I think I'm going to do that. Now that I'm thinking about it, I hadn't thought about it anymore, nor did I think about the loofah. I have coffee seeds, so I'm going to plant a coffee plant, but I want to see how this new greenhouse does first. So I'm holding off on that. So maybe next year I'll do the coffee seeds. But I try to do something new and exotic every year, something that no one else is doing or that I know that no one else around me are doing. But anyway, I ventured off again. Let me get back to the Grow Club. Okay, so we get all these seeds, right? So we used to get, one of the changes was were we used to get a raised bed each year. I got one last year, but I wasn't going to get one this year anyway, and probably no more. But every year, everybody, all the members could get one free raised bed. But the price of wood is so high that they eliminated that from the thing this year. So I'm quite sure a lot of the members who have been there for a while may have gotten two or three, throughout the years, and they'll make do. But we understand, and that's something I wasn't going to get this year, and so that would have allowed for someone else to get what I would have gotten. Let's say if they were giving them out, a lot of people, if they decline to take one, then someone else who's new can come along and request one, or someone may be able to get an extra one because someone else has declined who has the membership. Okay, but they're not being given out again, so that's that. We have the free classes, cooking classes, canning, anything to do with gardening. They have the classes. We had a bee school, but they just eliminated the bee school. They're starting a bee club. So I missed out on that because I wanted to do the bee school, but that bee school would fill up so quick. And I missed out on it last year, and that was the last year of it, and I didn't know it. So this year they announced they're no longer doing the bee school, but those who went to the bee school, now they're going to have a bee club so they can keep bees and whatnot. So, oh well. I can always learn beekeeping but it would have been nice to be able to learn that free and be hands-on with it and everything. So I missed out on that one. But everything else I've taken full advantage of. And like I said, with the other ones, when we merged together, they bought the old school that I used to work at, actually called Webster School. So right now they're doing demolition, and that's going to be a recreation center, market, a thrift store, and I forget what else. It's a huge school and it's old. So they're doing that now. And that's right by the greenhouses. We have 3 greenhouses. We have this one state-of-the-art greenhouse that was almost $1 million that was donated and built, and it's really nice. And that's where we hold our classes. The seeds, they grow year-round in that greenhouse. We have full access to it. We can go to the greenhouse from 9 a.m. until I think 6 or 7 p.m. year-round, and then they lock it, of course. And we can grow if we want to grow in the winter. I said I don't want to do all that. Plus, I have my own greenhouse, or we'll have it, another one. And so if I want to try to grow year round, which I think I may be able to do this year, because that new greenhouse, we're going to shore it up with that wood. So it's going to be airtight. So I know it's going to be a lot better than my last greenhouse, that I know. So with my one greenhouse, I've always been able to grow until November. So if I can get past November, then I could grow my cold crops year round in my new greenhouse. But anyway, and then there's 2 smaller greenhouses. They're just as large and they're big, but they're not as shored up as that first one. That first one is heated and everything else. I mean, it's state of the art. It's a beautiful greenhouse. But I noticed last year when we toured the greenhouses, after they, opened them and everything, they had greens growing in the wintertime in the one that had grown all winter long. Last year they had peppers. I was like, wow, look at these peppers. They had them in containers in the greenhouse all year long. So, it's nice going to the greenhouses in the winter, like especially during class time. And I didn't do it this winter because I was sick. I got sick right around Christmas time and was in the hospital, so I couldn't even go to any of the classes or anything they had going. But I signed up to volunteer for this spring, so I'll be there quite a bit, and you'll see me filming while I'm there. I'm a volunteer for starting seeds. We start the seeds for our plants. We grow our own plants there, and then when our time comes in the spring, not only do we give out seeds, can people get as many seeds as they like for free, but we also have plants, and we decide what we're growing. Last year we did tobacco and all kind of stuff, and so when I volunteered last year, I did the sowing, the seed sowing, and then other people worked with the seed starting mix, because we made our own, and so they had to wet it down and stuff. So I wasn't getting on that floor, so I grabbed me a chair and I started sowing seeds, and it's a lot. Thousands. It was nothing like what I normally do. My back was killing me, and I was sitting down, but it was so fun doing that. And so I signed up to volunteer this year, and I also offered to volunteer teaching a vanilla making class. I think that now that I've learned the ratio FDA standards of it, I think that I could teach it. So I will do that, and whatever volunteering, whatever they need me to volunteer for, I will do that. And then of course I'll be going to classes and whatnot, and they do allow me and others to film while we're there. I always ask, and I have a lot of footage that I just didn't share last year because I hadn't started the channel. Then in that particular neighborhood around the greenhouses, they have a community garden as well. So the people of the neighborhood, not only do they have access to the greenhouse, the classes and all that, they can also go to the community garden and work with that, with the flowers and things like that. So this is a great setup, and you can find them online if you want to learn more about them. It's called, go to growingpontiac.org, I believe. And they also have a Facebook page, so you can join the Facebook page, and they offer the free classes to anyone as long as they're in our city of Pontiac. But you can come to classes also if you're out of the city, but you cannot partake of the free seeds and things like that. You have to be a member through our city, and I just love it. It helps me to be able to continue to garden because it's very, very, very expensive to garden. But for me, it's not as expensive as it would be. I wouldn't be able to have a garden as big as I have if not for my club. And then I made friends through the club, and I have one garden buddy. Her name is Cheryl, and so we exchanged things. She gave me, because she likes to plant perennials like I do. I'm trying to be, I want things to come back every year, so I've made a huge investment with my trees, strawberry plants, things like that, bushes, raspberry and all that. And then she has done the same, and so she has a lot of different varieties that I didn't have, and then I had varieties like the white pine that she didn't have. So we just do even trades. And then last year she came, we did a film last year, an episode. I forget what episode it is. I'll have to find it and then I'll tell you. But we did an episode of Que-stead-Que where she came. That's when she brought the raspberries and arugula to me. And then I traded her off with, I think I gave her some blackberry bushes, blackberry cuttings. I believe that's what I gave her. So, yep, so that's fun, having a garden buddy. And then I've gotten a few of my cousins involved with gardening, although they did it as kids like I did too. We had to help out and stuff. But now they've decided to get into it and garden themselves. So that's nice. And they joined the club as well. So it's fun. So, okay, so I see we're at 33 minutes and I'm cooking, so I need to go check. I had I'm baking some chicken today. I'm sick of frying, so I decided to throw some chicken in the oven. So I'm going to go check that. It should be done now or close to it. And I'm going to get off of here. But I wanted to tell you all about Growing Pontiac. So check them out online. And maybe you can get an idea for your city. Or there may be something in your city that's available. You can check to see and join that because it's really nice. It's beneficial. And I have really benefited from it, and I love volunteering, and I just love the people. It's been wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to end this here. So you all have a wonderful evening, and may God bless you all. Bye-bye until next time. So I probably won't be back until it's supposed to warm up again next week. And so JD and we're planning on a fishing trip. That'll be for March. We'll do 2 in March, and we go to the island. So we're gonna go. We're gonna do 2 in March, uh, probably 2 in April, 1 or 2 in April, and then I do my last trip at the beginning of May, and then I don't go to the island again until the fall of the year, and that's how I stock my fish, for the winter and freeze it. And so anyway, so we'll be going to, and I'll probably do an episode from the island. I've done one before, but it wasn't that long, so I'll do that, and then so it'll be next week, probably, when I'm back, unless something comes up. When my seeds start germinating, I'll show you those. Okay, so I will talk to you all later, and may God bless you all. Bye-bye.